If you still think Vercel is just another place where you can host a simple next.js website, you are completely missing out. As we settle into 2026, Vercel has quietly transformed itself into the ultimate AI cloud. From out-of-the-box AI gateways that connect to your Gemini, Claude, and ChatGPTs to autonomous agents that literally view your code and fix production errors while you sleep, Vercel is giving individual developers the power of an entire engineering team. Welcome to TalkTechToMe. I'm Dan Murphy, and today I'm going to give you a complete walkthrough of Vercel in 2026. We're going to break down all the insane new AI features, how you can use it to build your next project, and how you can get started completely free. So let's get into it. Now, first things first, navigate to vercel.com, and it's going to ask you to sign up. It was a very simple process for me. I use single sign-on using Google. You can do the same thing with Office 365, whereas you can go the old-fashioned way of putting in a username and password and all that there. But I use the single sign-on with Google because I also do the same thing with GitHub. And then I connected my GitHub directly to Vercel. Really simple process. It takes about 2 minutes. It's going to ask you to verify your account. So it's going to send you a code over to your Gmail account. You copy paste that code in. You go into GitHub. You essentially allow the two of them to talk to each other. Really straightforward, happily guided process along the way. I am on the free tier, which essentially is the hobbyist tier. I will get into tiers and pricing a little bit later, but for now, hobbyist tier is all you need to get you up and running. Absolutely free, no credit card required whatsoever. You're going to be hit with a web page like this, and this essentially is where you start off from. Now, if you don't know what to do, there's actually an AI to guide you on the site, and it's the Ask AI, and it's actually really helpful. So, like, what is Vercel? What can I deploy from Vercel? What is Fluid Compute? How much does Vercel cost? So you can ask it pretty much anything. So if you're unsure about the website, it's always sort of up down the top right hand corner. It's going to guide you along the way and really suitable for what you want to do. But I know I have deployed a few things. So I have gone into my account here. Now, you're going to go to projects, and projects essentially is like imagine they're where you do deployments from. You have to create a project to do anything. So I've got 5 projects on the go currently, and these are all live web pages that are active now. I'll put some of the links down in the description so you can go see what I've been building in the background then as well. But this is what I built as part of the demo. You'll be able to sort of see it in a second. I've done a couple of minutes on how this was built. But yeah, this is a live website at the minute. You can go up and yeah, check out my demo, and I'll show you exactly how you do that one then as well. Let me go back to one of my other ones. Top left-hand corner, I want to go to Jara. So Jara is an application I've been trying to build in the background. It is a recruitment app. So here we go. This is a live website. So imagine you are working in an organization and you want to recruit a senior Java developer, but you don't want to go and pay a recruitment agency then as well. So this is what Jara is trying to do. I'm not selling a Jara. This is not a live product. This is just something I essentially was vibe coding to see was it viable, circulate around a few people if there was interest in getting some investment. So start hiring campaign. You type in the role, the skills you want, and then it's going to show you the salary range that you can change your experience level. And yeah, it should all sort of update in real time. And then essentially it goes through the next step, and it's going to essentially build out the job specification for you. You can then launch it directly on LinkedIn or any websites that does recruitment for you. So yeah, this is something I was playing around in the background. But if you have an idea for something, test it out here first. It's absolutely free. Vibe code it, or even high code it then if you want. And then launch it here for free. You can send the link around to some of your friends. You can send the link around to investors if it's something that you want to get investment into then as well. And so yeah, I built something really quickly here that I think has a bit of value. And then you can publish the campaign. And then there's going to be some AI enhancements done as well. So that's really cool. Anyway, back to this. Now, to do a deployment, you essentially need to connect Vercel with the GitHub repo then as well. And there's a couple of ways you can do this. If you go to overview, let's go back to projects, and I want to create a new project. Oh, where have I gone? Top left, back to my account, add new project. Going to give it a name, and you're going to either copy and paste in the GitHub repository manually, or you can see here you can input directly from, and literally whenever you click on one of these, I'll click on this Lego house one. So it's picked up the application type. So it can actually see the code base, and it knows it's a next JS application then as well. There is quite a few of these. If you're building anything outside of this, good luck to you. I suppose it's cornered the market on all the main software development languages out there. If your root directory is anything other than where it should be, you can edit it there, and it will give you the file structure. But try to have everything nested and built the normal way, I would say. And then you literally hit deploy, and it takes a minute, and it goes through the entire process, and it's going to output a screen like this, where it's going to give you a wee small preview of the website. And then it's going to give you essentially your deployment link and then your domain then as well. So that is an externally viable domain. You can do custom domains. So if you've already purchased a domain for something and you want to launch it here, you essentially go into domains on the left hand side, and then there is back to the main page, to domains, and then it will give you the option then to either buy a domain directly from them or add an existing domain. So I buy all my domains off GoDaddy.com, so you can actually import your GoDaddy domains and put them as the URL link for your applications then as well. Back to projects. Let me just look at Lego House for a second then as well. Shows you your status, shows you when it's created, and then it also shows you your branch then as well, and which is sort of the main one that you deployed. It gives you sort of little stats. So 7 people visited this website. That was probably the day I circulated around my friends, and a few of us sort of jumped on board, had a look at it, and played around with the site then as well. But yeah, you can click into that, takes you directly to the site. Now let's look at some of the features then. If you go back to click on your email address, top left, and you can click on deployments. This is going to show all the deployments they've done recently. If you are part of a software development team or a DevOps team then as well, this should feel like home to everybody, because essentially it's just listing all the deployments that were done recently. So if there's a bad deployment or you need to roll back, straight here, and it's going to show you which one's the current one, which ones are rollback ones, and which, all the outdated ones. So you can see there, of all the applications I have, these are all my current versions then as well. And the branch, and then the deployment time and date then as well. There is logs and analytics, and they are not verbose. They are fairly basic logs, but they should give you sort of a starting point as to how to figure out stuff if it is not going correctly. Analytics you have to pay for, or you have to enable them, and then there is sort of pricing and limits depending on what level you want to get to then as well. Because I'm on the free or the hobbyist tier, I'm not overly concerned about analytics at this stage. Now, I think I said this at the start of the video, but I'll reiterate again. You cannot make money on the hobbyist tier. If you integrate with Stripe and you want to actually monetize what you're going to do, it's going to pick up on that, and it's going to push you towards the paid tier. So don't try to bluff your way and get some free hosting for your paid website or application through this then as well. Stick to the rules. So if you are on the pro tier, you are going to get more analytics then as well. You are going to get some of that included on a monthly basis then as well. Speed Insights is something similar then as well. You can enable it, but it's going to be very limited on the basic tier then as well. But it's handy if you are looking to get a website that will be monetized through Google Ads or Google AdSense, and it needs to be sort of a fast, responsive website. You can see how it's performing here straight away. Observability then is sort of taking that to the next level, where it's giving you nice sort of graphs of what's all going on. Anybody from an SRE or observability background then as well, it's going to love this. It's going to show your compute, your transfer times, edge transit, and your visuals then as well. But there's a lot you can do with observability, which is absolutely fantastic. It does have quite a decent built-in firewall and will protect you against most things then as well. You can see sort of firewall traffic, and then you can break it down into, you can add in explicit rules to deny and upgrade to deny traffic. I think you can with any kind of WAF. But some of these are like behind the pro tier then as well. But the basic tier, the basic one, does do decent DDoS mitigation. Now, domains I already mentioned. You can bring in your own or buy your own then as well. Integrations is another fantastic one then as well. There is a lot of integrations available for this. The likes of AWS, GCP, Azure, Stripe. There's far too many to even mention then as well. So depending on what your application is going to do, you can integrate it directly with that. So say you do build an e-commerce website and you want to use something like Stripe for managing the payment system then as well, not on the hobbyist tier. You set up your integration here first then as well. So whenever it does its deployments, it knows your Stripe API and credentials and can automatically link that then as well. Integrates seamlessly then as well, which is absolutely brilliant. Storage, again, depends on your your tier and your quota. It does support databases, so I have a few small databases in my websites currently as well, but it has all the big main players and are listed here then as well. The likes of Superbase, which can be used for a lot of things, or else you can sort of integrate directly with your S3 buckets on AWS. It's really up to yourself how you want to use this. Now, let's go back. Now, agents is a fantastic feature, but it does require the pro tier then as well. I'm going to do a whole video on agents and agentic systems then in Vercel, because it's an absolute minefield in itself. Think of like NAN or those kind of websites then as well. It sort of has that kind of functionality then as well, where you can build agentic agents that either team off your existing websites and applications, or just pure agents by themselves and sort of act independently. There is a lot you can do with agents in this. The AI Gateway is something similar. It does give you some, you can generate an API key and use its AI Gateway if you want to connect into, like if you have a Gemini Pro subscription or an OpenAI API key then as well, you can essentially bring your own keys. So if you do build an application that is going to call out to an AI, then as well, this is where you integrate it through. So it's nice that it gives you that option, so it's not pushing you to use their AI model then as well. Usage tab essentially is going to show you how much you used over a monthly basis. Because I'm on the hobbyist subscription here, it is limited. You're allowed 100 gigs a month, and I've used 20 meg. So yeah, I'm nowhere even close to hitting that 100 gigs. But it is quite generous for a lot of things then as well. So if you're getting anywhere close, you're going to see it here. But try to keep it within those. If you are finding yourself sort of massively racking up, it's going to push you towards the pro subscription, which makes absolute sense. I think their hobbyist free tier is extremely generous for what it gives you. And yeah, let's look at the pricing model. Looking at the pricing models then as well, there are three. There's the hobbyist tier, which I've been showing you the whole way through this presentation. Then there's the pro and the enterprise. Now, enterprise is price on asking essentially, or probably a lot of it is going to be usage driven then as well. But the pro tier is $20 per month, which is extremely generous, especially considering what it gets you. Everything in the hobbyist tier plus a lot more. So let's look at some of the main differences then as well. You can see there the hobbyist tier actually covers so much of what the pro tier then as well, but in a few places it's massively better. So yeah, 10 million monthly, 10 million included per month for edge transfer requests and fast data transfer. You get 1 terabyte, and then essentially it's sort of billed per gigabyte after that then as well. Firewall rules, you're going to get a lot more flexibility here, 40 and 100 and then 25 then as well. So there's some things which you just can't do at all in the hobbyist tier that you can do on the pro tier then as well. You can do bot management in both, but it's $100 per 1,000. Deep analysis checks and content, all pretty much the same. It's going to allow you to do a lot more. On the pro tier, it doesn't much just say unlimited. It's going to give you sort of these kind of quota limits then as well. So it's getting to more like the billing that you would associate with AWS and GCP and Azure, but still a lot more generous than you would get with the three main cloud providers then as well. I know this because I look at these figures a lot of time for a lot of the work I do in Azure and GCP especially, and this is vastly cheaper than what you're going to do. The pro tier essentially is aimed at small, medium-sized businesses, people that have taken maybe a hobbyist project and then have launched it and are monetizing them as well. So it's designed to sort of be that seamless transition from vibe coding into monetization then as well. So you get a hell of a lot included in the beginner tier, and then as you move into the pro tier then as well, you're starting to see that there's certain nice cool things that you just don't get. One of the cool things is on the AI side of things, you get a code reviewer and investigate. So it's a bit like having anti-gravity or cursor or one of those kind of coding agents, or copilot if you're that way inclined, that can investigate your code in the platform itself. So you're not going from code editor to GitHub to Vercel and sort of this triangle sort of shape. You can do it directly on Vercel. Ideally, you can code directly onto Vercel and you don't need to go anywhere else. Bills, you get a custom environment, or you get up to 12 then with the enterprise tier then as well. So if you want to get really bespoke on what you're building and customize your environments to suit your needs, and then you get build minutes then as well. And deployments, well, they're limited, but you can get one project included for rolling releases if you are going to be doing sort of fast release cycles all the time. Seats then is an interesting one. So in the Pro model, it's $20 per month per seat. So if you have a team of 5 people, it'll be $100 a month. Enterprise tier, it's all custom. Essentially, it's a negotiation and you're entered into a contract at that stage then as well. Viewer seats is unlimited, and then you get a billing seat, or as we would call it, FinOps, included as part of it then as well. So that could be, you know, a financial controller that has absolutely no idea what Vercel does, but they essentially want to look at your billing and your usage on a monthly basis then as well. Toolkits, very similar, except you get unlimited previews. And so, you know, you don't have to wait for the site to go live. You can preview it before it goes live to make sure it's operating correctly then as well, which you would like to do in a proper software development environment. Observability, you do get quite a lot included, but it's taken this to the observability plus, so getting to that more verbose level. And then you get sort of vastly more logging and runtime logs included then as well. Access deployment, really similar. More security controls than when you get with the Pro environment, and then you get essentially unlimited then when it comes to the enterprise then. And compliance, this I was actually delighted to see. So it's ISO, SOC, SOC 2, PCI, HIPAA, GDPR, and DFF, which is absolutely brilliant because, well, GDPR, if you operate anywhere in Europe, you have to be GDPR compliant. That's a law. If you're in the US, you have to be HIPAA compliant if you're dealing with any kind of personal information. If you're dealing with credit card transactions or any kind of monetization, you're going to be dealing with HIPAA then as well. And SOC 2 really is sort of the default standard when it comes to securing your cloud environments to what I would see as being an appropriate level then as well. So the fact that it has all these included is absolutely brilliant. That's something you can bring to your customers. You can show in any kind of your materials then as well that you are hosted in a cloud environment that is covered by these kind of standards then as well. Okay. The first thing I did is I went to WhatsApp and I asked a couple of groups of my friends for an application idea. Give me an idea I can build. It's a bit of a challenge, you know, like they do on YouTube sometimes where they ask people for random ideas. So that's exactly what I did. And the idea they came up with was they want to build a website or an application where you can upload a photograph of a house, and then it will take this image of a house and convert it into Lego for you. It will then give you the list of Lego and a link to bricklink.com where you can click on, it'll take you to the website and give you all the Lego you need to build that image of your house. We're going to do a mosaic image, so like a 2-dimensional image. And then it's going to give you instructions then as well for building your Lego house. So that was the challenge I was set by my friend Joe, and off we go. Now, first thing I done before I done anything else is I went to github.com and I created a new repository and I called it Lego capital letters house. First thing I did. Second thing I did, I went to Antigravity. I then opened up or cloned that repository in Antigravity. Basically, what that does essentially is, well, the only file in it was the README file. So essentially, I just copied the README file, set up the local folder for that GitHub repo. I then went and gave it the prompt. Now, I gave it the prompt that essentially that my friend gave it, plus a little bit of padding. I told it what I wanted to do. I want it to be web-based. I also told it that I want it to be based in Vercel then as well. So that's going to be the hosting platform. That's important because it's going to package it slightly differently than if you're just asking it as normal to build you an application then as well. So it is going to essentially build this application for launching in Vercel. And then the prompt essentially was build me an application. I wanted to do XYZ. I wanted to upload photographs. I want to take a photograph, convert it into Lego, list all the building blocks for that set. Then a link then, which is going to take you to brickblock.com. And then as well as that, I want to have an interactive guide where you can essentially see the instructions for it, you know, line by line, row by row as you sort of build it up. The idea is that you go onto Bricklink, you get all the bricks for it, you post it out to somebody's house, and then they can use the instructions then to build this mosaic of their house and, you know, put it on their wall or do whatever they want to do with it. So in Antigravity right now, typical kind of flow, it's asked me questions, it's asked me follow-ups, it's come up with an implementation plan here and what it's going to do for me, and then a bit of back and forth, and you can see already this is Antigravity opening up here. We've got the first very rough version of the application up and running. Now I need an image of a house, so straight to Google, find an image of a house, save that one, back here, upload image. Oh, I needed a more high resolution version of the house, so yeah, I took this one. Back to the application, family home, try this one now. Okay, let me see how that works. It does work but it's glitchy as hell. You can see there, it's sort of flickering between that. It's stuck in a bit of a loop. I foolishly tried to screenshot this. And when we screenshot it, try to get anti-gravity to fix it, but the screenshot's not going to show the flickering of it then as well. So I'm trying to explain to anti-gravity what exactly the issue has been here. And I think it tries to fix it here for me. Go back, walk through. If you're building anything like this, you're going to see it's going to go take you through several iterations. It's definitely not going to work first time perfectly, and you're essentially going to have to keep adding to it then as you go along and as you find broken features. Still, I tried to do a screenshot. Screenshot did not work out because it's just a screenshot of the image. So I think I eventually just tried to explain to it in plain English what the issue was here, why it wasn't working for me then as well. I think there was a bit of logic that was broken, and I essentially was going through like an endless kind of infinity loop and never trying to exit. So that's why I was sort of stuck like this. Yep. Okay. Now I've asked it to commit that to GitHub, so this should kick off the automated workflow. It's committed the first version of the application to GitHub. I'll have to do next, and yes here. And yep, there you go. So it's committing the files for me into GitHub. So all I've done in GitHub was set up my repo. Next thing you do, Vercel, and you can see it's already linked there. They picked up, it's a Node.js application then as well. And now it's going to essentially pull through those files from GitHub. It knows it's a next.js application, and it's going to launch it for me. And there, it's deployed. That is now live on the internet. And you can see it's broken the same way it was locally on the internet. So I ended up recording a very short video of the flickering effect. And yeah, I'm taking that video in and trying to import it in. It's really not letting me do that. So I eventually just tell it what the issue is. It's sort of flickering back and forth then as well. So yeah, if you can get a screenshot of an error, that's no problem. But if your error is vision based like this here, it's hard to pick up sometime. While it's figuring that out, I've gone over to bricklink.com and I'm going to set up my account here. I've never used the website before, but thankfully it supports Google single sign-on. Bit of back and forth. You need a code for it, put in all your details, pick your location, your region, because it does, Bricklink is all about posting Lego out to you. And then I sort of flick back between it and anti-gravity. I think anti-gravity's figured out my issue now. It has. So here we are. First version application's up and running. But it's really low quality. You can see there, terrible image resolution. I'm flicking back forward to Bricklink to finish up my registration there. It's working out here, so it's going to increase the resolution for me and make it a bit more usable. This took me about 45 minutes to do this from start to finish because I was doing other stuff at the same time. And you can see there a few times the mouse stops going completely at all because I'm working on my other screen here. I'm not even giving this my full attention. And you can see there, yep, second version. It's getting better, but it's still terrible resolution. So I've been trying a few more prompts, trying to get it to work on the resolution, so you can get it sort of to a usable standard. I decided to change the image. So I'm going to try a different picture here of a house. Oh yeah, it's looking much better, especially when you increase the brick count down as well. Next thing I want to do is I want to test out the functionality to bring it into Bricklink. So if you're going to Bricklink, you can either upload from a different file type, but I'm going to use XML format. It's probably the most easier for anti-gravity to use. And so it gives you a wee copy to XML, open up a notepad file, copy, paste, and there you go. There's a full list of bricks that you're going to need to build this. Now, the last step in this journey is all about instructions. So yeah, if you have your brick count and you have all your bricks posted out, you still need instructions that say you're actually meant to build it, what pieces to put in where. So this was the final stage on this journey then as well. I also pushed this code to GitHub, and so it's updated Vercel and it's updated the live version of the website then as well. Next thing I need to do then is work on the instructions part of the site then as well. So a couple of instructions here and put into, here we go. Yes, export Bricklink, perfect. Let me just test this again. Notepad file, copy paste in. Yeah, I'm happy with that. Now, the last thing I want to do here is, you can see there, it is giving you the instructions for it, but it's extremely hard to see. It's all zoomed in and that there. So back over to anti-gravity. And essentially what I'm asking to do is put like a zoom in and out and put some scroll bars on it then as well, and sort of show it from a step format then as well. So you're increasing the functionality of it. Come up with a wee plan for me, ran a few changes, and yes, we're starting to see this working now already. So yeah, you can essentially go zoom left and right, back and forth. And as you can see, you can build out the whole thing. And I'll show you every row and every dot and where you need to put everything then as well. So yeah, last thing you need to do then was to commit that. And you can see there, we're on the live website now.
So this really got me thinking. So much so, I decided to record a video while out walking the dogs. What Vercel has done here is massively lower the barrier for entry. Now, if you don't know what that term means, imagine if you want to run a marathon. If you want to run a marathon, there's 3 things you absolutely need to do and have before you can enter a marathon. Oh, 1 second. You're going to need a pair of running shoes. You're going to need some shorts and a t-shirt, and you're going to need to enter your race fee. And that's the bare minimum. If you want to run a marathon, those are the bare minimum you're going to have to do. So your barrier for entry is the minimum required to get going. Now, if you want to build a website or a web application, you're going to need a minimum of a few things. You're going to need a developer, depending on what language or the complexity of it. You might need a back and front end developer. You might need a UX engineer if it's going to be interactive and really heavy into the user interaction of it. You're going to need some kind of CI/CD or DevOps engineer or DevSecOps or MLOps, depending on what it is. And you're going to need some kind of cloud engineering, basically something that's going to put it onto AWS, Azure or GCP to actually run it. You're going to need then to set up your domains and your DNS. So this could be a person or it could be 4 or 5 people, depending on the complexity of it then as well. Vercel has wiped out all that. You can essentially do all that yourself for free in minutes. Well, there you have it. That is Vercel in a nutshell. It's been around for a couple of years, but it's absolutely come on leaps and bounds in the last year. The introduction of the AI features are an absolute game changer for it. And when you pair it up with GitHub and anti-gravity or Cursor or a AI coder like that, it just comes into a whole new league. It massively lowers the barrier for entry for anyone wanting to get something up and running. As long as you don't make any money on it, the hobbyist here is ridiculously generous. I mean that. I really enjoyed this. I put 5 projects into it, probably got another 10 lined up. I'm probably going to go for the pro tier because there's a few paid applications that I want to put up into it as well. It's probably going to be my hosting platform of choice. At the minute, most of my stuff's in GCP, with a few things, legacy things sitting in AWS. But why not move over to Vercel and take myself away from all the hassle and all the manual configurations required? I've been Dan Murphy. This is TalkTechToMe. Have a good day, everyone. Bye-bye.